Hey guys, thank you so much for patiently waiting for me to do my next video. It has been a crazy week. I've been moving out of state, but I'm all settled in now and I could start finishing or working on my series and Chiron videos. And I decided to do the series because of all the crazy things that have been happening to me lately. And, uh, please be sure to subscribe to hear the whole series of Chiron and the signs and how it affects you and how you can heal from it, because I know it surely helped me. So in these videos, we're going to talk about how this wound shows itself. Where does the wound come from, and of course how to heal from Chiron. Just a quick little history. Chiron was discovered in 1977. It makes it a relatively recent addition to the astrological canon, and as such, Chiron isn't used in traditional astrology, but it's becoming more common and accepted in the modern day practice. It's a small planetoid, and ironically named after a Greek philosopher who couldn't, and healer. He was a philosopher and healer, but he couldn't heal himself. It's represented in astrology by a key symbol, and it shows that we have the key to unlocking some serious potential within ourselves once we heal whatever it might be. So Chiron in the sign of Leo, interestingly enough, most celebrities have this placement. And at the end of the video, I'll go over some pretty big names to show how they have this and who they are. So always look at your natal chart to see what house Chiron is in and how it specifically affects you. I'll give some examples as I'm speaking about why this is true. Someone with Chiron in Leo will feel that they are not recognized, or they're not noticed for their specialness. Like, they know that they have some kind of special capability, but they just feel like nobody really notices it. They just feel like they fade into the background in most social situations, not because they want to. It's just an inherent feeling. That's what these wounds are. It's just something very subconscious and a pull towards of thinking a certain way. And in some cases, if you have this, you might actually feel like you're disliked, but not like in the same way as Chiron and Aries. That's just that's a bit different. This is more of like attention, I guess, in a way, or being noticed for your special capability. It's more of like a surface level thing of like feeling ignored or unnoticed, and that you're not talented enough. So it has nothing to do with your self-worth so much. It's more of like you know that you have some kind of ability, but you're not talented enough, or you're not noticed for your talent. And what's funny is that people with Chiron and Leo are often really talented in some way. They can have issues relating to how they feel about their talent, as well as ego issues surrounding other people's adoration of them. And this is usually because although people with Chiron and Leo try to show their talent to other people, they aren't actually convinced deep down that they have this talent at all. How this wound shows itself is that Chiron and Leo would manifest it in two ways. So in one case, a person with this placement may try really, really hard to be recognized, respected, loved for their talents, and they may try to get appreciation or attention, or often attempt to be famous in some kind of way. And they'll do this to try to prove to themselves that they have no reason to feel unworthy. But that doesn't change the core feelings that they still have deep down. So it's like if they don't do the work, they're always going to have this feeling. Even they could be the most successful people, it's just successfully famous, it's just that they feel in their core that they just don't have it, you know. And in the second case is that the person feels so unworthy of being the center of attention that they avoid the spotlight by any means possible, which is interesting. They'll support others in their role, like using, I don't want to say using, but often children. They will support others in this role, often children, by trying to help others gain notoriety and becoming successful in the spotlight. So vicariously working through other people to heal this wound, or not heal it, but to show it. So that's kind of the two different scenarios. But in both cases, the person will be unusually sensitive to criticism. And this insecurity can cause them to read into situations and feel that they've been criticized, and like directly attacked, which isn't true. They have a strong fear of rejection stemming from their own feelings of unworthiness. And again, I just want to reiterate, it is not like the Aries sign that is of the self, that is like inherently feeling unworthy. This is more a surface level attention, needing the recognition due to talents, not so much like their soul. If that makes any sense. Although they'll feel that way, though. They will feel like it's like a soul worthiness. I hope that makes sense. But both types of Chiron and Leos will always feel that they need to prove their worth through their talents or the talents of others. In either case, they're always looking towards proving themselves to the world. And they don't understand that they have nothing really to prove. But look at the house and the aspects in your natal chart to see exactly how it will feel. So like, for example, if Chiron is in your 10th house, the person with this placement will try to prove themselves through career or public image, while Chiron in, say, the 2nd house may mean the person attempts to feel worthy through money or possessions. So where does this wound come from? Well, this wound, more so than others, usually has the roots in childhood. And I typically find that a person with Chiron and Leo was stunted in some way from expressing themselves creatively, probably didn't get enough sufficient recognition from their parents during early childhood for their ideas or talents, and it kind of left them feeling a little bit worthless inside due to those things. I don't really like the word worthless, so this is the thing this is the word that keeps coming up. Hey guys, I have Chiron in Gemini, so I have issues with communication sometimes. Or the child may have felt unimportant, unseen, or dismissed. They just, in general, did not feel noticed. Or at worst, they were noticed, but in a bad way, such as maybe their parent remarked on their lack of talent or were too critical of their talent. So how would one heal from this placement? Well, they need to learn how to heal the inner child and accept themselves, because it's the lack of self-acceptance and self-praise that causes this wound. And although you probably think it's a lack of acceptance from others, it's really yourself. And the key is to recognize that it's within your power to realize how special you are and to find your gift in the universe, to creatively express it. And with this placement, you have a really important place in the world and a unique gift to offer. But it's up to you to work through the trauma and find it. So inner child work is probably the most extremely helpful thing that you can do to find the issue that stems from this childhood wound and really develop and work on it. Some really known celebrities with Chiron and Leo are Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, John Lennon, Zayn Malik, Bruce Lee, Paul McCartney, Mick Jagger, Jimi Hendrix, Muhammad Ali, Cardi B, Bernie Sanders. That's just to name a few, but there is a huge list. So like I said, most celebrities do have this placement. So this was just a quick description of Chiron in the sign of Leo. Let me know in the comments below, did it resonate with you? What is your experience with having this placement? I'd really love to know. And thank you again so much for listening. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.